I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I checked my phone and I was sat there between Bill Clinton's autobiography or something and James Patterson, who's somebody I read. I was like, I can't believe this. This is amazing.
Earlier this year, I attended a self-publishing conference in Ireland, where I had the chance to speak to a number of successful independent authors who had worked with Reedsy before. One of these authors was Yvonne Vincent, the writer of cozy mystery novels, whose journey to becoming a full-time author started later in life and grew from a simple blog. Here's a little look at my chat with Yvonne, where I find out how she became an author who's grown to sell over 200,000 copies of her books to readers all around the world.
It started because I was writing all sorts of funny nonsense on my own Facebook page, and all my friends were saying, you should start a blog. And then I just woke up one morning in August 2018 and thought, oh, I'll give it a go. And I kind of thought at the time, well, probably nobody will follow me, so I'll give it a few months, and if it goes nowhere, I'll just pack it in. It was just meant to be a little hobby, and writing all these little sort of snippets of family life, funny things that had happened. From there, people did follow me, and it just grew and grew and grew.
But then, in the spring of 2020, something changed.
We went into lockdown, and I was shielding, which meant I was stuck in one room for 4 months. I think having the extra time during lockdown, because I wasn't commuting, gave me a chance to really focus a bit more on the blog. And so the blog posts became better and better. And the people on the blog said, well, you should write a book. I just thought, well, I listened when people said you should start a blog, and that worked out okay. I'm going to listen here.
Drawing material from her popular Facebook blog, Yvonne put together her first book. But one question remained. What would she call it?
On my blog, I said that my granny had been teaching me to crochet. She'd created this lovely blanket square or whatever, and I just created this long, straggly, big blue Jobbie. And somebody came on and said, that should be the title of the book. And I went, you're absolutely right.
A quick bit of context. In Scotland, a Jobbie is a scatological term, meaning a poop.
And my husband said, you can't call it that. I said, I can and I will. And that was it.
Yvonne's existing blog audience gave her book some initial traction in terms of sales, but it was a Kindle deal that really got the ball rolling.
So I thought I would just sell a few hundred and that would be it. But it just kept selling steadily. And then Amazon came and said, can we put this on a deal, on a Kindle deal? And I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I checked my phone because you can see your dashboard of sales. So I couldn't believe I sold all these books. And then throughout that whole day, it just kept going and kept going. And at that point, it then reached something like number 40 something in the Kindle store. And I was sat there between Bill Clinton's autobiography or something and James Patterson, who's somebody I read. I was like, I can't believe this. This is amazing.
And with that, she was off to the races. A second book quickly followed, and soon Yvonne and her husband started connecting with other self-published authors.
We went to the self-publishing show down in London in 2020. We were watching all these authors on stage talking about they were making a living, they'd given up the day job and all the rest of it. My husband just said, I reckon that'll be you by Christmas. I think we came away from that show knowing that we could do this as a pair, because my husband does all my money and marketing, he's in charge of. And so, yeah, we just teamed up, packed in our jobs and did it.
So, what was the book that finally pushed her over the top and allowed her to become a full-time author? The Losers Club is a cozy mystery set on an island off the east coast of Scotland, where a weight loss group band together when the local policeman becomes the victim of a murder.
There's a big storm, the island's cut off, the nearest police are hours away, and so who's going to investigate?
Unbeknownst to Yvonne, the The release of the Losers Club came hot on the heels of another book about a group of unlikely crime solvers, Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club, which itself quickly rose the ranks to become one of the year's best-selling books.
In fact, it was a good place to be because all of a sudden the world wanted these types of mysteries, and my book did really well on his coattails, I think.
From early on, Yvonne made community the centre of everything she did, and even now, her Facebook groups are still core to her marketing efforts.
A lot of the stuff I've done around it has been more about encouraging a fan base and encouraging a community around the books on social media and things. I mean, I'm on Facebook all the time and I respond to their comments, and there's also a Facebook group for the books, so I'll do an Ask Me Anything in there, and I've done some live. What's really nice is that the people who followed my blog right from the beginning, they're still there. I still see those familiar names in the comments, and I think as well, a lot of them, because they've been following it for so long, they kind of know each other now, so you see conversations happening between them. So all those things, I think, combine to make a community feel to the things that I've done. And it is great to see people bouncing off each other from opposite ends of the world.
So, as someone who has written 10 books in a series in little under 5 years, I had to ask, how much planning goes into each of her mystery novels?
Total pantser. Usually got an idea about a crime. I can't remember, there was number 5, right? I just had this idea, how cool would it be to project a Batman-style image into the night sky of a dead body. I wrote to a National Lighthouse Museum and asked them, how do you glue somebody to a lighthouse? But very often, I'm just really writing towards that rather than thinking of a detailed plot. I was more plotty than pantsery with the first one in the series, which I think you do have to be. You have to have thought through. But once you get to know your characters and your setting, it's a lot easier to imagine. The world's in your head then, it's real. And I'm literally just sitting here watching a movie happen, and all I'm doing is writing down whatever's happening in the movie.
5 years, 9 books published, and over 200,000 copies sold. Has Yvonne been able to appreciate and enjoy the success in amongst all the work?
It's done really well, has done really well. And I mean, I know that there are authors out there selling millions and all the rest of it, but, it's allowed me to leave the day job. It's given me a living, kept a roof over my head, and given me a reasonable income. If that's as good as it ever gets, then I will be absolutely content with that.
I want to thank Yvonne for sitting down with me for this chat. You can find her Losers Club series wherever good books and audiobooks are sold. I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into her success story, and that you've been able to see how it's never too late to start your writing journey. And, in particular, how building a community of readers is one of the most important things you can do as an independent artist. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and smashing that subscribe button for more great stuff like this every single week. I've been Martin from Reedsy, and I'll see you on the shelves.